Good morning and welcome to the show. It's Friday the 13th. June 13th. But hey, it's going to be a good Friday the 13th because we've got a lot of minor league baseball to talk about. Yesterday was full of great action across the board. I was at Travis Sykora start. It was rain soaked, but the rain did clear. We got baseball and he shoved. So we're going to talk about that and all the other dominant performances from yesterday's action. But first, you know the drill. We're brought to you by Connect Roasters. I'm still finishing off my morning cup right here. Connect Roasters is Ian Happ's coffee company, and they make an incredibly good blend. They've got a wide variety of coffees. They've got now canned coffee you can check out. Lots of good stuff at connectroasters.com. You can get the Gold Glove blend, Ian Happ specialty blend, buy one, get one 50% off by using the code Dynasty Dugout at checkout. Also, we're proud to partner with Chinook Seedery, the best sunflower seeds in the game. Chinook has a wide variety of flavors, sweet, salty, spicy, you name it. They've got it all. Go check out Chinook Seedery today. Use Dynasty Dugout as the code at checkout and get 10% off your order. All right, so we have to start with Travis Sykora at the top because what he did was insane. And no surprise, I mean, the lineup in Spartanburg was not great. It did not have Malcolm Moore or Dylan Dreiling, two of the best hitters in that lineup. So, yeah, this is kind of a bloodbath that I expected. Sykora went 5 innings. He allowed 2 hits, 0 walks, 0 earned runs, and 10 strikeouts. Sykora landed 70% of his pitches for strikes, and he had 22 whiffs. Insane. I think Savant had 21. I had 22 on my count. Just an absurd performance. First pitch of the game was 99. He struck out Casey Cook to start the game at 99. So his, I think, 4th or 5th pitch was 99. He clipped it a couple of times. Fastball worked 95 to 98 the entire start for all 5 innings. And he clipped those 99 several times. The fastball is interesting. The shape is okay. That's the biggest kind of concern with the profile. But when you have the velo, we've seen it can work. Remember, concerns about Paul Skeen's fastball shape. I don't think anybody has concerns about that anymore based on what he's done. So again, the dominance, it's there. Like you've seen it. Sykora's just been absurd all year. And he has good secondaries too. Last year, the slider and the splitter both had whiff rates like a 45% or higher. And we're seeing that again this year. The splitter's pretty nasty. He'll work at 83 to 87. So some different discrepancy on velocity there, but still it worked. And it was mid to upper 80s early in the start, 83 to 86 later in the start. So still it maintained. And the slider, he manipulated multiple shapes. I'd actually be curious to ask Sykora because there was like 3 shapes of the slider. There was one that had a little more sweep. There was one that was kind of like a, what would you call a death ball, where there was just like no spin, or like, I'd say no spin, but it was like 0 IVB, 0 horizontal. And then he also had more of a gyro shape. So there was several different shapes and several different velocity bands. And honestly, like when Sykora was in the 85, 87 range with the slider, he was dominant. When he dipped down to 83 and he missed locations, he got hit. Now, it doesn't show in the ledger. He had 2 hits. No runs allowed, but there were a couple of hard hit balls that he had just right to the fielder. So it worked out. But again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the performance wasn't good. It was dominant. But there's a couple things people have asked, like, what does Sykora need to do to be the top pitching prospect in baseball? I mean, you look at the stats this year, it looks like the best pitching prospect. You look at some of the under hood stuff, yeah, it looks pretty good. So a couple of things I think are holding Sykora back is, one, the fastball. It's not the velocity, it's just the shape. But look at the 3 guys I have ahead of him. I have Sykora as my 4th ranked pitching prospect. Got Chase Burns, got Bubba Chandler, got Andrew Painter. All 3 have better fastball and miss more bats with the fastball. Not to say Sykora's fastball is bad. It's good. It's got the velocity, but I like those 3 fastballs a little bit better. Also, out of the stretch, I think that this could be an issue, seeing like Travis Sykora allow stolen bases. I'd be curious to see like what the numbers look like. And obviously we only had 2 base runners last night, but we did have several stolen base attempts. He's very slow to the plate out of the stretch. And that's fine. But ultimately, like out of the windup, he's got this big leg kick. It's very Paul Skeens-esque, but he still uses that big leg kick and is very slow to the plate. out of the stretch. So it's something that's going to have to be cleaned up a little bit, I think. I was trying to look and see if there's any stolen base data on him for this year, but it was one of those things where me and some scouts were like, that's going to have to clean up. And that's something that they can work on. That's pretty easy to work on. Honestly, I'm just impressed that Sykora, coming off a hip injury, has kept his mechanics good. Everything's still lined up how it was last year. The stuff's better. He's commanding the ball exceptionally well. Like, to throw strikes at a 70% clip like he did is very impressive. And the strike rate on the year, like, big guy, long levers, I guess some would say funky delivery. Like, he's got pretty stellar command. Right now, the strike rate on the year is like 68%. So that's kind of insane. And it's good stuff. So, yeah, I liked what I saw from Sykora. He's a top-notch pitching prospect. Second time I've seen him. So really fun arm there. He opposed against Kolton Curtis, who honestly was not all that familiar with. Curtis, I hadn't seen this year. He has been with Hub City, but I have not seen him make a start. That was the first start I've seen from him. And he's fascinating. He was an undrafted free agent in 2022, signed in August 2022, and he didn't pitch till the complex of 2023, was in single A last year and was pretty good. And then this year, it was, I mean, you look at the surface numbers, they're bad, just being blunt. But I liked what I saw from Curtis. He's got a 5.74 ERA and a 1.56 whip, a 15% walk rate. But honestly, what I saw from Kolton Curtis looked a lot better. I thought he commanded the ball pretty well. He's got a deep arsenal of pitches where he can show the ability to, I think I had 6 different pitches. Fastball working 92 to 95. He threw a splitter like at the 80-mile-an-hour range. He threw a more traditional changeup, had a curve, had a slider. He was throwing like the kitchen sink approach. And you look at the start, and it looks bad. I mean, I get it. He allowed 5 earned on 4 hits, 3 walks, and 2 hit by pitch. He did strike out 6. I will say, I think they left Kolton Curtis out to dry a little bit too long because he was pitching pretty well. Like, for the early part of the game, things looked really good, and he was cruising through 4. I mean, I think he had faced 2 more than the minimum through 4. So it was really good. And honestly, like, I was pretty impressed. And even into the 5th, he was still, I thought he faced 3 batters in the 5th, and he struck out Armando Cruz to end the 5th inning. So really through 5 innings, he was nearly perfect. And I just don't think he didn't have the steam to come back out for the 6th. He has not pitched into the 6th inning at all this year until that start. And he is not actually, looking back on it, this was the first time in his career that he had pitched into the 6th inning. That's Kolton Curtis of the Texas Rangers. And it showed because he came out in the 6th inning, walk, hit by pitch. The hit by pitch was fringy. It was on a bunt attempt. And I don't know, it could have gone either way. Said it hit the guy's foot, Marcus Brown, the batter, but there's a big argument. Manager comes out. He's ejected. Ultimately, then strikes out Lama Vida. There's a double. Really, that changes the game a bit because 2 runs scored on the questionable hit by pitch. At that point, then it would have been 2 outs and he'd allowed just 1 run. But then he's pretty angry. Like, there's visible anger at this point. The dugout's heated. The manager's been thrown out. There's a lot of anger. You can see the visible frustration on Kolton Curtis's face at this point. And then he walks TJ White. Gavin Dugas singles kind of in the gap, ground ball. He's then replaced. And then Anthony Susak comes in. At this point, there's only been 2 runs crossed, all because of that double. But Anthony Susak comes in relief, and it's just a disaster. Wild pitch after wild pitch after wild pitch. And it got ugly. So 5 earned runs on the ledger. I thought Kolton Curtis pitched a lot better than that. But again, that was what the number was. So we go by that, and that's what the ledger says. But Kolton Curtis, interesting deep name or deep league arm. Not flashy, but young guy, just turned 21. He's got stuff. Good frame. Thought he repeated well. So, yeah, watch out for him. And Sam Petersen, I've talked about him all week. This kid's fascinating. Iowa draftee, 8th round. Last year, he can hit. He missed some time with injury. He's done nothing but hit all week. He flies down the line. I got some plus clock times on him. And he blasted a home run to the opposite field yesterday, which was pretty impressive. I thought it was good looking power, and he's not a power guy, so I think that's important to note. But Sam Petersen's really caught my eye. He hits a lot of line drives. He gets the ball in the air. He's come back and been really, really good. And in just 80 plate appearances this year, Petersen in his Petersen, so not SON, SEN at the end. Sam Petersen slashing 369, 475, 523. So a near 1,000 OPS, pretty good walk rate, good approach, good contact skills. I liked what I've seen from Sam Petersen, honestly. So kind of caught my eye a bit this week. We'll be back on Saturday. Alex Clemmy will be starting, so we'll see the Clemmy start. But hey, we got to talk some non-live looks here because there was some really good performances yesterday. Is Kevin McGonigle the best prospect in baseball? Maybe. I mean, he looks like a stud right now, and he did it again yesterday. He had 4 hits, 2 doubles, a homer. His home run was 112 off the bat. This kid comes back from injury and looks better than ever. And I know people are like, oh, he's injury prone. I don't think that's the case. I think he's had a couple fluky injuries, and it's affected him. McGonigle's got a absurd 1,200 OPS since returning to high A, 3 homers. He's got a stolen base, but he's been caught stealing 4 times, which is interesting. But McGonigle hits the ball at such ideal angles. It's a ton of fly balls. He walks more than he strikes out. The contact rates are elite, like very, very good approach, very elite contact skills. And he's hitting balls 112, which he did hit a ball 112 last year. That's important to note. He's small, and I get it. People are like, oh, the small guys, blah, blah, blah. But this dude has power. He's not like Caleb Durbin. He's not like Jet Williams. He's not like some of these guys. This dude has legit like potential plus power where he consistently hits the ball hard. And when you're topping 112s and you're 20, he hit a 112 last year at 19. Like, okay, there's serious juice here in the profile with Kevin McGonigle. He runs. He's got contact skills for days. This kid's a stud. So Kevin McGonigle of the Detroit Tigers, he's doing some stuff. Let's drop down to the DSL because this is an interesting player that I actually liked a bit last year when he signed. Eduardo Herrera signed out of Venezuela in 2024. He was the White Sox big international signee last year, and he was terrible in the DSL last year. He had a 573 OPS and didn't hit a homer. This was a power bat where they signed him, and he was like this big masher. The frame's like 6'4". He's strong, and I thought he was going to hit a lot of homers last year in the DSL and potentially raise his stock. That was not the case, but this year, Herrera's returned to the DSL. He blasted 2 home runs yesterday and had 4 hits, and he's not striking out. He struck out just 2 times in his last 4 games, and outside of a 3 strikeout performance that he had last week, he's been really good in the strikeout column. Herrera's walked 11 times. Throw walks out the window in the DSL. Who cares? Honestly, we're 7 games into a season. It's just good to see Herrera blasting homers. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I think it's a resurgence because I've talked to people in the organization who they kind of question, why did the White Sox give this guy that much money? So there is raw juice, the hit tool, not there. He's a corner-only bat, but that's Eduardo Herrera of the Chicago White Sox. And finally, Carter Jensen's the last bat we'll talk about. Jensen, he's a baller. He was one of my favorite catchers that I saw in the DSL. I didn't go to the DSL. In the Arizona Fall League, I was about to say ACL. Arizona Fall League, I'm getting them all mixed up this morning. Jensen's still 21. He's in Double-A, and he got off to a slow start, but he's swinging it well. He had a great game yesterday. He homered 3 hits. He's really turned it up a notch. And you look at kind of the splits. I don't find the exact date, but Jensen got off to a really good start to the year. His first 4 games, he had, 2, 4, 6, 9 hits in 4 games. And then he kind of struggled a bit. He was striking out a lot. People were kind of like, what's going on with Carter Jensen? Why is he striking out like this? And then he really turned on the Jets in May. So let's filter from May 1st forward, because right now the slash line's pretty good. But if we go to May 1st forward, Jensen slashing 336, 396, 477. So really impressive so far from what we've seen from Jensen. He's making a lot of contact. He's taking walks. He's hitting for power. He's got 3 home runs over that span, 38 games since May 1st. And he also has 6 doubles and 3 triples. 5 stolen bases, no caught stealings. whatever. He's not going to steal a lot of bases. There's not a lot of speed there with Carter Jensen. But I also think Jensen's a solid catcher behind the plate. He doesn't get enough credit for that, where you look at the profile and you're like, this kid can hit and he's going to catch. So, like, that's a pretty attractive profile when you look at it. It's like, yeah, this kid is pretty interesting. So now like 25% of base runners, which is pretty good in AA. He's got a good feel to hit. I think this is a top 100 prospect, honestly. Like, Carter Jensen's really, really good. He's still young. He's dominating AA. Big fan of Carter Jensen. Let's take a quick break and we'll talk some pitchers before we get out of here. All right, some pitchers to talk about. I firmly believe that we're going to see Jack Perkins called up any day now. It's just been insane dominance for Perkins of the Athletics, who is interesting because he was a reliever last year. He goes to be a starter, and he finished the year last year like better than probably any pitching prospect in baseball, just like pure dominance. Like, once he moved out of the pen and was throwing innings as a starter, it was like, what happened to this guy? If we filter from August 8th last year, Perkins had really, actually, let's do August the 7th. Yes, because that was when the first time he went 5 innings last year. He hadn't gone 5 innings at all last year. It was like 1 innings, 2 innings, 3 innings. And then he goes 5 on August 7th. And all of a sudden he's like built up innings. So we're going to filter August the 7th start through now. And he's been dominant. Like, so this is 15 starts at this point, 83 innings. Jack Perkins has a 2.28 ERA. He has walked just 29 batters, and he struck out 115. That's a 35% strikeout rate to an 8.9% walk rate. He has a sub-1 whip, a 172 batting average against, and the FIP backs is a 2.58 FIP. Insane. And Perkins, yesterday, dominant. 12 strikeouts across 6 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks. Back-to-back double-digit strikeout games, so 10 strikeouts last time out for Perkins, and then 12 strikeouts this time out. He's gotten better and better as the year has gone on. He got a late start of the season. There was a little injury, and he, even with a clunker, 6 earned runs on May the 7th and 3 1/3, Perkins has still put up those absurd numbers. He's pitching well. This fastball is really good. This is a top 100 prospect for sure. He's got a fastball that's mid to upper 90s. There's a really good slider, good curveball. He'll throw a change and cutter, and the command has just improved substantially. The command of his pitches is good. He's throwing strikes, so that's another thing. Like, you look at the strike rate on the year, and it's like, okay, it's 61%. That's fringy. In AAA, that zone is tight. He will see that walk rate and the walk rate go down, strike rate go up in the majors. That's what we've been seeing. That's typically what happens now when guys jump from AAA to the majors. But Jack Perkins looks like a major dude, and he's somebody that I think you should be in on. He pitched a couple years ago in the AFL. He was a bullpen guy then. He was a bullpen guy some last year. But he now looks like a bona fide starter. I'm very, very excited about Jack Perkins. So he may still be under the radar. If he is, you should get him. It's getting really close to time to get Jack Perkins in the majors. So really fun arm there for the Athletics. Who's really blocking him there? There's not a lot blocking him. He could be in that rotation in his next start. I would not be shocked. So another name, not hype, but Braden Nett. San Diego Padres stay on the West Coast. Nett was an undrafted free agent. We have several undrafted free agents. Nett was not drafted in the 2022 draft. He signed with the Padres. This dude's good. He looks like he can pitch in their rotation. If not, he's going to be a really good trade bait for AJ Preller, who loves to make those kind of deals, because some team is going to envy and want Braden Nett. He's in AA, and he's been really, really good for the most part this year. He had a bump in the road at the end of April where he had back-to-back starts with 6 and 5 earned runs. But since then, he's really picked it up. He probably had his best start of the year last night. 6 innings, 5 hits, and I know 3 earned. You see 3 earned, you're like, oh, it was not good. But 0 walks, that's huge, and 8 strikeouts for Braden Nett. Nett's got some really good stuff. He's got a really solid fastball, high-riding fastball. He's got a slider and a curve. Nett's another one that I saw in the AFL, and I was like, okay, fascinating arm that I really like here. And Nett will run the fastball to the upper 90s. He touches triple digits. It's an absurd, like, plays well at the top of the zone type pitch. And ultimately, the breaking balls, he spins really well. And the cutter, he throws a cutter around 90 miles an hour, 90, 92. It's a solid offering. I look at this arsenal, and it looks good. If Nett can't start, he's going to be a weapon out of the bullpen. And this is a major league arm for sure. And nobody really talks about Braden Nett, but they should. Braden Nett is extremely good. I think he's one of the best prospects in the Padres system. He might be one of their best pitching prospects in general. So there's a lot of guys to like there. Obviously, they've got the two big guys at the top in DeVries and Salas. But after that, you can go a lot of ways. And Braden Nett has a really good argument to be at the top of that system. Let's talk one more Padre. Miguel Mendez, another AFL guy who was a bullpen weapon there. And he's interesting because now Miguel Mendez is absolutely dominating. Another fascinating arm. He is in high A, and he's got a sub-3 ERA. He's got a 33.3% strikeout rate and a 9.4% walk rate. Miguel Mendez is a dog, and he had a great start again yesterday. He went only 4 innings, so take that what you will, but 3 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Mendez has been really good. He's gone up to 6 innings this year, and he's just missing bats. And this is after his first start. He has sub-3 ERA, but his first start, he allowed 3 earned and 2 1/3. So he had an 11.57 ERA in that first start. Mendez is really skinny. A lot of projection on his frame where it's like, yeah, this kid needs to kind of fill out a little bit. But ultimately, like, he's taken that leap forward already with the fastball. The biggest thing why he needs to add weight is for the velocity to hold in starts. He can work up to triple digits, but he sees the velocity kind of take a step back throughout starts. Like, you're looking at the data, and later in starts, it does kind of tick back. But at the end of the day, that's good velocity. The slider's a weapon. You love to see that kind of weapon out of the bullpen, if he pitches a starter. But like, this could be a 7 fastball and slider out of the pen if he does not fully develop a changeup. Mendez is 22. He'll be 23 soon. The command comes and goes at times, but that's a really fun arsenal. And Mendez might be another one that could be a trade chip for a team that wants a bullpen arm. They could probably put him in a bullpen and would play right now. But Miguel Mendez of the Padres is not getting talked about enough, and he's really, really good. So those are some arms. I hope you enjoyed the live look talk. Hope you enjoy the show. If you do, subscribe. 5-star review it, please. It goes a long way. And sub on the YouTube. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers, and that would mean the world if you subbed and got us to 1,000.